Rich Hesfar, well, we just thank you for the meeting tonight. We just ask you to give us wisdom and encourage us to carry on. And just ask a special blessing on everybody here this evening. And look forward to doing your work throughout the week. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so embarrassing. What happened? Anybody have anything they want to bring up? What's going on in the community that you don't know about? Go ahead.
I have a question. On the county codes, how many signatures do we need to even bring up a change in a code? And is it just a matter of signatures, or then do we need to persuade the county commissioners to vote to change a code?
What code is it that you're?
It is regarding backyard poultry.
Backyard poultry?
Because
I don't know the answer to that question.
and the
exactly
reason
what
I'm
you mean.
asking is because I don't know if you've been following lately, but the city of Orlando, the city of Apopka, and tonight Altamont Springs, as well as the county of Orange, as of 2020, all voted in backyard poultry as long as you only kept hens and there were 4 or less, and it was a single family home. And that was due to COVID, as well as increased poultry prices, bird flu, and the price of eggs. And my personal thoughts on that are, if we are still unincorporated here, for as however long that may last, I don't know, but if we can stay unincorporated, I see no reason that.
I don't see any thing going down the road that it would cost us more to incorporate than it.
Correct.
Because
Because right now I feel that if you have a single family home, you should be able to have the 4 hens on the property as long as they're contained. And I don't think that the county needs to pick and choose who they're doing code enforcement for. Because right now, that is the feeling amongst a few of us, is they're picking and choosing who they're enforcing codes on, and that feels petulant.
Well, without a rooster, you're not going to get disturbed
Correct.
and get your own eggs.
Correct. And we're also providing for others who are on fixed incomes, which is generous.
best way to address it is next week, go to the meeting and get a hold of that.
County commission meeting.
The county commissioners.
HOA.
Is it for
Tracy's
Tracy's
Point?
Point or?
It would involve Tracy's Point, but it is a county code. So it would have to be addressed at the county level.
Yeah, it would have to.
Because I didn't receive a citation from Tracy's Point. I received it from the county.
But you may get some support at Tracy's Point.
I can guarantee I will not from the current board. I will not.
Well, we'll talk about that.
So that's why I would like to go
Then
through
go
proper
to-
channels,
yeah, then
legal
go to
channels,
county commissioner.
and go through the county commissioners.
You got citation for having chicken?
I did.
I didn't know you couldn't have them in the county.
Well, don't go
I
home and
actually
show
didn't, because it says per acre. And if I wanted to split hairs, I could say it doesn't say per contiguous acre, because actually I do own more than an acre. It's just not contiguous. But I'm not going to be a brat and do that. So, but my chickens actually have more per square footage with 4 versus if I had 10 per acre. But anyway, never mind.
Well, you make a good point. It doesn't say contiguous.
It doesn't. So,
The best thing we do is call in the
county commissioner,
Bill at his office, and then go to the meeting.
who is it?
Andy Paldello, I got his phone number.
Oh, okay, good, I'll get it from you
He's
after the
the
meeting.
commissioner for this area.
Okay, and when's the meeting?
Said, next meeting is, be next week, next Tuesday at 5 o'clock, I think it is.
Okay. I'll just-
Starts at 5 at,
Okay.
what's that?
Is that everything?
Everglades Center, that's over at Marsh Bend, right? I've been there once before for
Yeah,
the,
that building here.
for the gaming thing, yeah. That was
That's
exciting.
where they have a meeting, next week,
Okay,
and then the following week is like a
Workshop, yeah.
thing, and then on, the last week, they have another meeting. So, that would be the best thing, to address them and find out for sure, what the code and everything. 'Cause
okay,
I've never even thought, I've seen people have chickens, but,
right,
that's, we're an unincorporated town
right,
and basically rural, why can't we have chickens?
right.
What's your address?
23 30. Oh, yeah, I'll give it to you. I need some eggs, I got a few extra right now.
I
They're
was gonna
good.
hand it to the sheriff.
I had neighbors that had chickens because I grew up in Rolling.
I don't have a rooster.
I live in a house and
I do, just FYI, from my going out and about, there is a house somewhere in Lake Pan that has a rooster. And I know that has been an issue. But I'm not, that's what I've been hearing. So I don't know where it is, but, so maybe that's ruining it for you.
Yeah, and that's the thing, everybody I know that has chickens, none of us have a rooster.
My friend has chickens in the farm. No,
Yeah.
maybe because you don't hear them. A rooster, I understand a
And
rooster.
honestly, nobody on my street complains because I keep them in eggs.
No
I mean, why would they complain?
Yeah. Maybe my neighbor has.
It's $6 a dozen, hello.
I'll buy them off of you. I'll buy them off of you.
Not better for chickens anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Chuck, you and I one time were going to go to the Republican Club in the village. And we went over there, I guess, and they weren't having it at that time or something. Did you ever find out any bottom line on that?
I don't know if they completely canceled it out or.
Anybody else know?
we used to have a Republican meeting in Sumter, but that's where we still do.
Something?
For this end of the county. But that's usually during election years, they have Republican meetings.
Something like that. If they had a regular meeting.
If I get a chance Thursday, I'll swing by there and see, maybe they can give me some information.
Where are you gonna go, by the courthouse?
No, the gun place. Where
They didn't seem to know much about it the last time.
maybe we can talk to the manager, maybe.
Let me know if you found out.
If not, I'll swing by the county, city hall, maybe they know.
Well, the county place with the big gold dome up there, they ought to know. Somebody knows.
Where is the county place? Is that where they had the commissioners meeting? Is that?
466.
Oh, okay.
It's got the library of the county.
That's right. I kind of knew that.
I had a, I heard you talking earlier amongst yourselves, but what is the story of the sidewalk? Are they going to go all the way to 75 like they did on the 470, like they did on the other side? Sidewalk that we did on the
I don't know.
470?
It's all county.
Pennington, they're putting in a sidewalk. Where is it going to?
Oh, I can.
Nobody knows?
Yeah, I know the full detail because I actually did. I interviewed the people that did it. All right. So at first the rumor was. First,
They're only going to hear a voice, Andy.
oh yeah, no. But I was going to do a story. I took pictures. I was just so busy. I didn't do it yet. I've done the story. You guys didn't know. I talked to the rumor was it was going to be a water line, which I believe because I won't say who, but all the businesses said it's going to be a water line from the campground there. Campground right there, the RV park.
What about the one at 75?
Yeah, right there, right near there. But
Easy times.
yes, correct. But that was already, I went to the water department, And she told me the full story. She said, no, this is what it is. That line was already done. The water line was already done. So the sidewalk was being done because, and she knows this all in detail, because a while back, I used to live at the RV park, complained she got injured or tripped or something. She was crossing the street, complained to the county a couple years ago, whatever, and she moved, but the sidewalk still got built. So what's happening is that that's all that's going to happen. So what you see right now is always going to happen unless somebody brings up another issue.
So how far is it gonna go?
That's it. It's done.
That's it.
It's done. Yeah, correct.
So
That was done just for the RV park because they when you complain and it won't cost much. We'll just do
So
this.
they can walk to the
So
river as you get
that's one time.
Correct. That's it. That's all it was, and it went away, and now she moved, but it was they already had the contract, whatever. So now they just finished.
Well, it's almost, well, okay,
I know.
that makes sense. It's almost like a sidewalk.
Sidewalk to nowhere, kind of like the bridge to nowhere.
But
Yeah,
its
okay.
purpose was just because of that situation, and trust me, I'm pretty confident in my information now.
Well-
Because that's just,
Because you know, people put it in.
What I understand is a blind lady that lives there, and she had petitioned for a sidewalk so she could get into town. And that's been built.
100%, she's exactly right. Yeah, 100% right. Yeah. But she doesn't live there, she don't live there anymore.
6 years to get it.
6
Oh,
months.
see, Yeah.
Petition 6 years.
Typical government.
Yeah, really.
and the funny part about it is when this is interesting too, because he'll probably agree with me on this, because eventually, they're supposed to widen it 6 years from now, whatever, so that's probably just going to get ripped up anyway. You know what I mean? And redone anyway. But it's just funny, just how the government works, I guess,
I wish that Andy would have been here tonight, because I had a question to bring up, the water treatment plant that they're putting in out there on and wastewater, they're shipping it, they're gonna run it all the way down to 75, just north of 470, just north of the creek. You see where they're cleaning all that out? If you go north on 75, that's for the drainage, for the wastewater.
That's gray water, right?
No, not rainwater, wastewater.
No, it's gray water.
I'm saying gray water, not wastewater.
Well, they said wastewater.
There's brown water and gray water.
That's the same thing, I guess.
No, there's brown water and gray water, and sometimes they go together, so
Well, but it's not sewer water.
groundwater is.
I forget how many gallons, it's gonna be huge.
The gray water is from there.
No, that's the gray water. They use it to irrigate with.
Correct.
whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
What are they gonna irrigate?
I don't
There's
know.
no farm.
I tell you what, it would have been nice to have it installed before we lost all those Canariensis palms on the.
I was going to say that, correct,
I want
yeah.
to tell you something, somebody ought to get after the state about that. Those are expensive. But what you gotta do, once you plant them, every so often you have to drench the bud of them. So that would require something high enough to get up, to drench the bud with a particular chemical.
What kind of trees are they?
Canariensis, canary palms are.
Or canary song?
Look it up in your phone.
I do know, because I have, my contact with UF, there is a disease before that
Oh.
attack all the palms also.
That's interesting.
I'm sorry, say.
And there's nothing you can do. Like I had to put 4 palms in all, and all then nothing you can do.
You got old men in here, can't hear.
It was that, I called UF because I had palm trees, and they all died, and they said that there was a disease in Florida for those palms. For several palms, I think there was only like 2 native palms that it wasn't affecting.
You had Canariensis palms?
I had a couple different palm trees, but what University of Florida told me was that the disease that's attacking palms, or attacking any palm in Florida except for 2 native palms, I forgot which 2 those were.
Cabbage palm would have to be one of them,
Yeah.
it's a state tree.
Yeah.
And the other one, you'd probably get an answer of royal palms, but I think royal palms weren't native originally. Depends on how far you want to go back.
You have just said, no matter what long you get, it's pretty much gonna die.
That makes sense, my rugolines look like they're dying.
Yeah. There's whatever it is, a disease came in Florida and it's killing ponds.
Yeah.
We have another name of the disease.
They were so pretty, and they're just,
If you.
I'll Google it.
Yeah,
Yeah, But plus I want to research how they die and all that kind of stuff. 'Cause that's an interesting, that's a story, right?
Well, it's our taxpayer dollars paid for those, and I think somebody needs to be accountable for those.
I think they're still watered though. I could have sworn I
Doesn't
saw.
matter, they're dying.
No, I know, but I'm just curious, where's that water come from? I think I see water there.
I don't know. I've never,
That I
I
saw.
saw water after they first set them out, but after that, I didn't see them water.
I'll have to go, I'll go there.
I haven't seen water.
I thought I saw.
so that's just what's on the east side of 75 when you get on the interstate right there, 470.
So-
That's the wastewater treatment that's going there.
Yeah, as you're going north, and you go past the bridge, all that there clean, that's
Okay,
where
that's
it's supposed to go,
gonna be-
right
okay.
there.
Okay.
That's big, that's a big
Supposed to
area.
go
That
into the
is.
Berry property, isn't it? The old Berry property. That's what I understood.
Where does it start and end? Do you know the property? I mean, the wastewater, where, do you know where it's going to start
I
and
don't
end?
know what, so I don't know who owns it. Yeah.
So 470.
Maybe they're friends with the county commission. That's the way it works.
I mean, you know, you look 10 years down the road, this little community is going to be surrounded
Mhm.
and traffic is going to be unreal.
Can't imagine what it's gonna be.
471, they should start on 471 right now, making a program happen. Because it's a virtual death trap because of traffic coming from out of Lakeland on 98 to 471 up here, because that's a shortcut, come up to 75 to get to.
Well, didn't Andy or somebody tell us that they're gonna 4-lane 470?
That's like
I wouldn't think
5
about
and 7, maybe 8 years away.
maybe 10, yeah.
They're gonna do 470
By the time it gets
from
done, they're gonna be
301
600.
over the,
That's how it always works.
You're right, yeah.
No matter where you go. it's,
yeah. 470 from 301 over to, Pocahontas. That's gonna be a 4-lane with, they said 9 roundabouts. Can you
Oh,
imagine?
my goodness.
Crazy.
Ah,
I'm going to say something you're not going to like, but I'm just being real. I know y'all going to hate me for saying this. But there's nothing we can do about it. Trust me, I hate those roundabouts. I mean, I like the idea because you don't get a stoplight, but it takes forever to get. I like the idea that we used to be able to take an hour to get to Orlando. Now it's going to take an hour and 20 minutes to get to Orlando.
you have
So-
to substitute however for the word but.
Oh, however.
However.
Gotcha. I have to talk about it, so don't mind me on that. So I'm just trying to think, since we have no control over it, which stinks, but is there any good gonna come out of it? I know you're gonna hate me for saying that, but I don't know, I'm not moving, so I want to accept it's gonna be good and not.
Well, I moved up here to get away from the traffic.
Yeah, I know, that's what I want to do.
On the beach.
I agree with you, what can we do? I'm not moving, I just moved here.
20,000 there, 15 down.
Well, luckily, I'm off the road far, the main road far enough.
Yeah, me too.
But just going to town, going
Is
back
it
and forth.
possible to get an officer to sit along 475 if we were coming out of 75?
Yeah.
Just patrol that a little bit more,
Just the off ramp.
yeah, like you're becoming
Yeah, that's
north.
When you come off of 75, some of them don't believe in.
Maybe,
Oh, yeah, they don't stop.
Getting on from there.
No, I'm saying when you're.
Getting off northbound, right?
They're coming off
They're all- they're all-
If you're coming
going
off
north?
475, then you're coming off the interstate.
We're supposed to stop.
Gotcha,
It's not
gotcha.
stop.
Not 475, off 75.
I know there's been several accidents there, but maybe just to control it a little bit.
Yeah. Fatalities too, right?
I witnessed one on my bike.
Yeah.
I witnessed an accident on my bike.
I know who designed that interchange there. That was the son of one of the state senators. Had to be. Had to be. Who else could screw up an interchange like that? get away with it.
I knew exactly where he was going as soon as he said it. But yes, we can absolutely.
Young college engineers.
Another question. Oh,
I have two questions, too. Is the ruling on drivers having a dog in their laps on the steering wheel while they're driving? The go-kart, or golf carts. They're all over with all ages driving.
So you notice the state of Florida's in the works of talking about you have to have a driver's license now. It used to be 14 years old, you can operate a golf cart. I just read something and now they're talking about in the state of Florida, you gotta have at least a driver's license when it comes to 15, 16 years old.
Yeah, the governor just getting ready to sign the bill, and you gotta have
Gotta have a driver's license.
14-year-old has to have a learner permit to drive a golf cart.
You talking about the dog has to have a driver's license?
That too. I think some dogs will probably do like.
yeah, play better drivers or something.
So what was the answer to the dog?
So the dog, I mean, that's definitely an issue. We don't, you know, there's, I don't think there's an exact rule.
I see an awful lot of drivers with dogs on the steering wheel, on the dash, on their arms, window down. How can that be a safe driver?
That's all, it's not, it's all distracted.
There was the bill, I thought, in Florida about the dogs had to have a seatbelt on or a harness, right?
Not on the road.
And then there was the one that they couldn't have their heads out the window, or was it they couldn't have their heads out the driver's window? Something? I
And
don't know.
there very well maybe, because that statute looks this big.
Yeah, but I don't think it passed because there was like a whole thing about why can't the dog have their head out? Because I think the way it was written is it couldn't have its head out of any window, which kind of didn't make sense if it was in a harness. Couldn't have its head out the back
Yeah.
window in a harness.
I
But
don't let my dog put it out the driver's window, all that slobber comes
right, I mean, and I'll admit I let mine put it out the other windows as long as they're in the
That's your
harness,
law
but
and your
not.
common sense.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't have that anymore.
Plus, how do you catch them? You have to have like camera, and even then it's
I mean, if you observe it.
and that's good. That's all you need, just this episode. Okay, that's good. There you go.
Wow,
Let's see if we can,
interesting question.
distract it.
Well, there's a man that comes up to the elementary school to pick up grandchildren, I'm assuming. And he's got 2 or 3 of them running loose in the cab of the truck. Nothing is happening, whatever. To me, that's dangerous, especially when you pick up children.
We'll have to say mine lays down in the passenger seat and goes to sleep.
We know Florida's getting busier. I was born and raised here my whole life. There used to be not so busy traffic on the road, living with the dogs and the cats and traffic up there.
Yeah.
You know, as you mentioned, I don't think school, picking the kids from school is a good time to be having a bunch of dogs around the cab and truck either. So you're right. So I'll look into it more, so.
I got a random question.
Random question.
Actually, for everybody here, actually, it's it had hail come down about a week ago, and how can we stop that? How often does it hail here in Lake Pan? That's the first time I seen it, and that was kind of cool. I got video of it. It was really cool. Because some people online, I got put on there. This is the first time I put on the Lake Pan forum. Oh, cool, I got a video. It was hail. I'm like, cool. We're like Pennsylvania. I've been here 5 years, And some people say, oh, it hails all the time. I'm like, really? I never.
A lot, so I mean,
Once a year?
probably more than that, yeah.
Wow. I did not know
How
that.
big have you seen it?
Hail, biggest hail I've ever seen.
Down here.
Golf balls out.
And that's, wow. I did not know that.
That's about the largest I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's about-
I mean, I've been out west
Wow.
before, when you go through a town, you see all the car hoods dented in and everything.
Yeah,
I mean, that must be baseball size
Yeah.
hail.
So what do you think of that question now? Once, twice a year, you think, Hale? Do you think?
I'd say a lot more than that. I'd say several dozen times a year.
In the whole county, though, not any one year.
But even then, though, that's still pretty high. Wow.
I mean, that happens, I mean,
Yeah, but it's, I put online, most people said they've never seen it.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah. I guess you assume that it's raining outside and it's really hailing. And you wouldn't leave a vehicle, you would see it all the time. It would be hitting your windshield.
Yeah.
That's cool. I did not know that. That's cool.
as far as Lake Pan, I guess I think this is what you're looking for. Our numbers, I don't have April numbers yet that are given to us. But going from February to March, response time's about the same, about three, it actually went down 10 seconds to about 3 minutes, 44 seconds per call.
Good.
Yeah. Calls for service went up about 100 more calls of service.
Went up?
Went up 100 calls. With reports being just about that many too. So calls for service went up, response times went down. And for IC, again, I think I said this the last one I was at, the biggest thing that we see is mental health. A lot of mental health issues. There's been a rise in that. They cracks and people needed, to go to some sort of mental health professional. Just been a lot of fatality accidents lately. We're reading about that more and more. It's not affecting Panasoffkee itself, but that's just something to think about when you're driving around.
I was going to ask you how many are nuisance calls and how many are serious.
Out of all the calls for service,
Yeah.
well, every call's, you take it seriously, but.
Oh, I understand that.
Yeah, that's hard to gauge. I mean, I'm going by what I experience out here when I'm on patrol. I would say Lake Pan's doing pretty good right now. It's not, we're not seeing any kind of spike or anything in particular. Like I said, we've had a lot of mental health calls on the rise over the past couple months. That's the biggest thing I
Can
see.
you tell me about speeders? Over the speed limit, I had a semi going down from Walmart today. I mean, he was moving fast. But he got up to that red light there on that car, and then it was stopped.
Well, we have our traffic units that are out. I would say just about every deputy that's on patrol now, excluding new ones because you have to be certified, are issued a laser or radar. And we're patrolling our zones and our areas of responsibility. We're running traffic. So if we catch them, we catch them. I mean, sometimes we're not there at the right time. We catch a speeder or an aggressive driver, but we're always on the lookout for it.
I'm driving
I haven't seen any change. I don't want to put you down.
Go ahead. I'm ready for it.
I'm not seeing any change in speeders.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still, and I think it's the people more than anything.
Where do you not see the change? Is this everywhere in general, or is this in
Well,
specific spots?
my main travel is from here to Bushville and here.
Yeah.
But just, and it's amazing up here within the school thing, how many, the semis and dump trucks anymore.
So I know we run traffic heavily on 470. I know that we do that. My guys as well as traffic, especially when schools in service or when schools going in and out, we have people up here monitoring those school zones. You'll see, if you don't see a change by the interstates, it's because it's a lot of interstate traffic coming off and being filled and doing what they're doing. As far as local traffic, I think that we definitely monitor that pretty good. And we do the best we can.
You talk about speeders on 75?
No,
She needs
Well, you
a,
said you go to Bushville, that's a good
I
one.
take 475.
Okay, I take 75.
yeah.
75 is too unsafe.
Everybody's got their own thing.
475 is getting unsafe.
I think the average speed on 475 is 60 miles an hour. Someone
But on 75, I was going, 70 the other day on 75, and they were whizzing by me like I was tied to a tree.
Yeah, I'd say probably average speed of 75, they do 80 miles an hour plus 85. And then, the troopers are always sitting at all these turnouts too. They're not too far, they're always at one of these roundabouts, several.
Another, one trooper at night, about 2 trips.
I know we had on 475, we had that fatality accident not too long ago. That was a single vehicle accident late at night. I think the driver fell asleep and went off the road into a tree. That was
So I don't know, March, April. Probably just in 10-mile area, 7 or 8.
yeah, so there's a bunch of them up there.
And you get that many fatalities on these.
You had the one on 471, you had the one on 44 in Morris. That was a bunch of young kids too.
In Sarasota to here, I saw 2 bad wrecks in the southbound, westbound.
Sarasota is a madhouse.
One car was sitting on its hood and another one was all into the garden.
I would like to bring up also, if any of you will have the sheriff's office app on your phone, we have an app that you can go on there, it does all kinds of information. You can report, you can self-report crimes. Make complaints, submit a tip. You can look and see where all your sex offenders are, who's wanted. It's a inmate search, jail.
Just Sumter County, Florida.
Yeah, Sumter County Sheriff's Office.
Like the notifications.
The outreach, the notifications is what's great. So we always, anytime there's a traffic jam or a block or a road that's going to be shut down for a significant amount of time, we throw it right on Facebook. And if you don't follow on Facebook, if you have the app, it goes right to the app as well, which will direct you to the Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is that you're using. We also have the outreach program on here, which is Project Eagle Eye, which I think I explained last time, because you're good with the cameras.
Yep.
So if you have a camera on your house, sign up for Project Eagle Eye, which, the crime is committed anywhere, we know that you have a camera, we can come to you like, hey, crime is committed down the road, we made it pass through here, can we look at your cameras, can you give us your cameras and whatnot?
The app for road blockage and all, does that include 75?
It does do 75. Like there's a bad wreck on 75, like again, if it's going to be closed down for a good significant amount of time, if there's road closures and stuff like that, we'll put it on there. But if it's just a regular wreck that's off to the side and it needs to slow it down, it's not something that we're going to as long as traffic's moving.
Regular wreck depends upon whether you're wrecked door or wrecked teeth.
And then it explains, again, on the app, though, if you go to outreach, it explains a lot of the programs we have, like the Project Eagle Eye, Isle of Life, Peace of Mind, the Child Safety Kit, Human Scent Preservation Kits, which is awesome. And then it goes to other stuff. It's just something that we have to do.
And all different councils over here, go through that whole program.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good. Okay, what's up? What's up, guys?
And all that information at the last meeting, that doesn't include, does it include information to that app?
To the,
All that paperwork information that you guys gave us at the last meeting?
yeah, we handed out this some information that day.
The app was on the electronic
Take the time and just
challenge.
scan.
Me too.
What you said, Jeff?
That's little, yeah. And now, take your phone and scan it.
Just scan it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, brings it right up.
Open the camera app.
That's all I have.
Do you have anything else?
Actually, yeah.
Or
a couple other questions. In regards to what you were saying about 475 there, I wish I could do it right now, but I know when I actually fixed a lot of issues up north. I know it's easier said than done. Just let me know when you see a lot of it happening. I'll take some video for you. If you send a video of that to 3 agencies, you know what I mean, county, Florida Department, you know what I mean, and what's the other one? Oh, there's no town here. Never mind. But with those two, believe it or not, they will take. They have to act on that on what you send them. You know what I mean? Plus, you can put it on social media, et cetera, but you guys have somebody to record the video. It does work. Trust me, I used it, and it does work. Up north, we hope it works down here.
You do realize that when you get to be my age, there's a 30 microsecond delay from what you say when it gets to my brain. Okay?
It's not just
slow down.
It's
Slow down.
I didn't take my ADHD medication today. Is there a location for public functions? I know this was a gold mine, I thought, but you have to plan pretty far ahead. Like, say I wanted to hold, like, I do magic. Say I wanted to teach a magic class here. I don't want to schedule 6 months in advance. I just want to have I also don't have strangers come to my house. You know what I mean? So is there any kind of venue that you can think of around here in Lake Pan that, I can have it outside, but,
So venue to do what?
to have like some kind of church, bring the town together. Churches are good too, but
This is it.
yeah, you got to plan 6 months. It's too much planning. That's what they told me.
Well, you got it. This place is booked up like, what, 6 months?
That's what I'm at, yeah. So,
What about the library, depending on how many people you're gonna have? Isn't there room in the library you could use?
but it has to be quiet if we can. So the quietness of that. So does anybody know of any place? Just before I start calling the VFW and other locations, does anybody know of any? If not, I'll just go with that. Okay.
What about that, the little place next to the pharmacy that hosts music on Thursday nights?
I will ask them. I will start asking.
Because they don't have stuff there every night, right? Yeah. I've never been there, but I mean, they might. I mean, you could ask Debbie at the pharmacy.
Thank you. I will ask that too. Thank you. I put it in here too. What else am I going to ask? Something else. Oh, actually, before I ask the other questions, I've never used it down here up north. I was a newspaper reporter up north for a while, but I use drones for that. Down here, what are the laws in regards to drones?
I know you have to be FAA certified to use them. You
Okay.
got your FAA certification, so you know your footage and all that stuff. As far as privacy, is it going to find over someone's yard and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah, it's common sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I meant like more like if I just want to take a video, nice, awesome pictures. I did research already. I just want to see where you stand now. You can't fly on that property over there. You know what I mean? Reserve probably because it disturbs the peace. But you can take off, fly over it, and land. You're allowed to do that. But in regards to say I want to fly and be high above, just get good views of Lake Pan. Well, you can't see.
As long as you abide by FAAs.
Okay, so that's what you go by then. Okay.
And they'll have their own rules.
I wasn't sure if there's any county, an additional county. Okay, gotcha. That's good too. Thank you. And another question. Any good news you wanna say about anything? Any kind of good neighbor stuff? Anything that's
That law buck shoots drones down.
I was just thinking about that. I was afraid of this.
really? You gotta teach me how to do that.
Somebody's going to shoot it down. That'll be the next thing at the next meeting. I tried to fly my drone, somebody shot it.
No, I'm not. I wouldn't be that close to people's homes. It would be pretty high up.
He'll get a nuisance call about some drone is flying
I
around.
got Andy's
He won't even go, he'll just call you, get your drone down, Andy.
Well, most people think drones they can zoom in, and I can't even tell if you're a male or an ant. That's all. You know what I mean, so you nothing.
Depends on how high you are.
Well, if you're somebody else, if you can see the drone and it's that close to you, I would shoot it too.
You can't zoom in from there?
No. First of all, only drones that can zoom in. Just think about it long. Just think about it. You have to have a gimbal to keep it steady.
You need to buy more expensive.
And that would be so loud and big. Why would they be flying over your house? You know what I mean? But
Exactly.
yeah, it's like a movie
They
thing.
don't, last two crashed.
Yeah, I have so many good videos and photos uploaded from, you know, from the drones. They're beautiful pictures. It's all basically to promote Lake Panasoffkee, you know what I mean? So,
I noticed, not to change the subject, getting into crime issues, on Facebook, a lady brought up a thing where her daughter was walking home from school. This happened in Texas, and there was two gentlemen in a van, and they asked her if she would come over and help them put something in the van. But she refused, she kept on walking. But her mother was real close. She took a picture of the van, the two guys, and the license plate. And they were all talking about, you know, how good her daughter was coming out, you know, to stay away from that type of scenario. And I wrote a letter, or a short note, told them, I said, you have got all the information you need. I said, you should send it to your law enforcement agency. And that way, if something does happen, they already got a suspect.
And not just that, it's a mixed thing.
Yeah.
That's a crime.
But that's like it, any time you go shopping, you get out of the car, we were up in Chiefland, I watched people, they get out of their car, they got the phone, or they don't look up, they got tunnel vision. And they're, you know,
It's like
who
that,
knows,
it's
if
like
somebody
that,
can
you
come
walk
up
in
behind
an
you,
open
you
manhole
know,
in New
snatch your
York.
purse.
You know, people's lives are busy. You got to train yourself to be aware and keep yourself
Situational awareness.
You know, that's something you have to work on. People, we're all busy. Everyone has lives and problems and stuff to think about. You just got to really, when you're out in the public, you know.
It's hard to get that mindset to where, you know, when you get out of the car, you look start. To me, it comes natural, but I mean,
But yeah, in Florida, it's the law called Illinois for enticing a child. So they're trying, adult tries to lure a child to the vehicle or anything. No.
What is being done, if anything, about people bringing dogs into the grocery store?
That's federal, that's a federal protected. There's nothing, that's federal protected, yeah. All the service animal stuff.
They're not service animals.
Yeah, you're not even allowed to ask whether they are or not nowadays.
So we get rid of that problem.
When you see the congressman here next time, talk to him about it.
It's really difficult.
Yeah.
I work for the airline, and once they get past a certain point, I can't ask anything about it because their rights are protected, and I would be the one who got in trouble.
So you can't even ask if it's a service dog? Really?
I drive Uber or Lyft. And I mean, when I've done a year, but I do thousands of rides. And I know, Uber, Lyft, ride sharing. So they come inside, I say, hold on, let me go get my tarp, or anyway, like the tarp I put down or whatever else. So, who am I to judge, right? But still, I cannot say no. You know, but it's funny though, because in Walmart, I'm sure they deserve it, you know, who are we to judge, right? But in Walmart, I remember somebody's walking the dog, took the dog inside, right at the entrance, everyone's looking. Dog took a poop, the person looked at it, the dog looked at it, just walked away.
Oh.
So that's like, oh, you're making everybody look bad, who is
Right.
not a bad.
Right.
Yeah,
So you know that wasn't a certificate. Oh, it was not a certificate.
Yeah.
I got a question for the officer. Just your opinion, not gonna hold you to this. Do you think
Sure.
that the bill is going to pass with regard to open carry, that the governor?
Open carry, I know they do
Well,
constitutional carry.
I'm sorry, I think it's concealed carry.
Yeah, constitutional carry.
Is that what that
That's
is?
what it's called, yeah.
And what does that entail?
It's, you can carry a firearm concealed, but you do not need to conceal it as permanent.
Say that again?
So you can carry a concealed weapon without a permit.
Yes.
You don't need to, that's what the Constitution carries. It's carrying a concealed weapon without a permit.
I thought that's what DeSantis was trying to get passed, but it sounds like you've already did. So if I got my 32 in my pocket, I'm okay?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know
And then there's the open carriage, some states with open carriage, it's the order right there on your,
Got it.
and all right, yeah, right here on your, in your holster, right there on your side.
I think Texas.
Texas, there's many states.
Yeah. Yeah. Texas is a good state, I love it.
Many states have that.
Florida makes 26 state, that's constitutional carry. But they still have the 3 day, if you go in and buy a gun, because it's still got the 3 day waiting period.
Yep.
And,
Like, you still go through all the background checks and all that stuff is still in effect, and you're not.
But not in your
You
pocket.
just don't need, that's if you have one. You're talking about buying one, purchasing one.
Okay, got it. So, are you familiar with the bill that DeSantis is trying to pass?
Which depends.
I don't know, because now I'm confused. I thought he was gonna do one for concealed carry.
That's exactly what we're talking about.
But you're saying that's already constitutional?
I think that just passed.
yeah, 2 weeks ago
That passed.
I guess I'm 2 weeks behind.
You're 2 weeks behind.
Story of my life.
$8 sure. Me too, don't worry
I
about
want
it.
to tell you, I'm a lot more than 2 weeks behind. But with my bad memory, I get to meet a lot of
You're
people.
fine.
But if you, I mean, you still gotta use common sense, you know. A lot of people, they have an anger point.
Yeah.
They'll blow up just like that, and then 5 minutes later, it's all over with. Well, don't have 5 minutes and they're blown up. You get in an argument, you don't know whether somebody can pick out a gun and shoot you. That's the only really bad thing I know.
In bars.
I think no matter what, that person that was going to pull a gun and shoot somebody would do it whether that's any laws in effect or not. That's
We're just gonna do that anyway.
yeah, that's.
Well,
I never researched it.
Common
Bars?
sense entails pulling the trigger the second time if he's still coming at you, right? Double tap.
That's situational. Dependent.
That's right. There he comes, bang, bang.
What about bars? I haven't researched the law, honestly. I don't know much about it. But can they carry in a bar?
It's the establishment. You know, obviously, if you're going to drink, you can't be in possession of intoxicating.
Oh, gotcha. I'm just
You
curious.
still can't go into a post office.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, VA, all that
All
stuff.
the protected places.
Hypothetical question. If a person pulls a gun on me, I have my pistol,
Right.
am I within my rights to shoot him? I have to assume he's going to shoot me? Well, I didn't say it was going to be.
Well, you're gonna be late, Byron, because he's already got the gun out.
This sounds like a hard question.
No, just call him halfway through. Just give him a call. Halfway through.
Just say time out.
That's
Hold on a second.
That's what I said.
Exactly.
Look,
Exactly.
Call your lawyer halfway
we have
through.
time. So,
It's like, no.
stick my foot in the barrel. Oh, okay.
But if somebody's standing there already has a gun on him, you does. You can try and talk him out of it or do something, because if you reach for your gun, he's gonna shoot you.
Yep, there ain't no time to talk him out of it. I'm telling you,
It's
somebody.
all just pray to the Lord that none of us have to be put in that situation.
Right.
I'm gonna run you for sheriff. That's the most political answer.
But they always say in the military and in the service, everything else, never point a gun at anything you don't intend to shoot.
Exactly.
So if he's aiming at you, you don't have time to think. I'm pretty sure that's justified to fire.
So after he falls, I take his gun and pull the trigger one time, and put it back in his hand, right?
No, I don't think you're allowed to carry a weapon on the plane.
Probably not.
Well, that'll never happen.
Back in the 60s,
No way.
when I got on the plane, I handed my briefcase to the stewardess, told her, you need to lock this in the captain's locker. It's got a pistol in it. They would lock it in, and when I got off the plane,
Wow.
they handed me my briefcase back, no problem. But in the 70s, that changed that quick.
Chuck, years ago, when I was a kid, I'd see people walking down the street in Fort Myers with their gun in a holster.
Yeah.
That's over here.
Yeah, but they didn't have a permit back then, you know. But that was just,
It's a different time.
that was a different time. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it sure was a different time.
Another question, if possible. I'm trying to get organized, that's just me, to pick up garbage on the streets. I was talking about that.
Did you see that I had set that up for you? It was somebody that asked last time. I
It
had
was-
the jail come up here and walk.
Oh, she brought it up, but I said I was gonna do, you had somebody come and do it?
They did, yeah, they did.
Ah, that's awesome. Thank
And
you.
we need more of that. And if you have a particular road or area that needs to be cleaned, and we have people's registered for the weekend work detail, I can have them clean up roads or.
That's the prisoner you're talking about?
Yeah, like,
See, there's a lot of garbage going towards the transfer station, obviously, and I've seen the garbage is still there, so maybe I should just call about that one too. But I was thinking,
So did they do, so I told them before to do 470, so it's not the other side of 470?
yeah, there's a lot of. I mean, I'm never the person to complain without an answer, without a solution. That's just how I am.
Yeah.
So I want to volunteer, you know. But if you can have somebody there, I mean, like, oh,
So we'll do east
It's a
470.
half a mile down the road, because that's when they finish their beer.
Pick up bottles up there.
that's cool.
Out the
So
road.
the reason I brought that up, I was going to actually ask if I can, if somebody has a trike bike with a thing on the back, or a golf cart I can borrow, but if I don't need that anymore, because this is awesome. Thank you.
I've noticed now, like over in the water tower area, all those roads back in there, they cleaned that up really good.
Yeah, I was in there.
I lived there, started to clean up. There was one person, right there on 426, an elderly lady, I don't know if she's still alive, but her house is, as soon as you make that left turn off of 470 on the right-hand side, it's cluttered all the way around, plus the car. The inside of the house is the same way, but I never see anybody there, so I don't know. I'm assuming that she has passed away, and the family has no idea what,
Does Faye know you've been inside the house? Does Faye know you've been inside the house?
They had the
You
door.
said it was cluttered in there.
Somebody had the door open, and you could see in, and it was just stacked high.
I pick up my street.
Yeah,
I pick up my street every day. I live by the big bass. I live by the big bass. So I pick up my street every day. Oh, they drive me nuts. I so regret buying that house, I know. They're not nice neighbors.
That's commerce for you.
No, that's being disrespectful to the
It is,
neighbor.
it is.
They have no respect for that neighbor.
so,
They don't, and they don't care. I've gotten into it with her more than once, and
I was gonna
it's
say,
a
you
lost
talked
cause.
to him about it.
Oh, yeah, just a lost cause.
Wow.
Just aggravates me and her. Not anyway.
Well, as long as you aggravate her more than she's aggravating you, you're the winner.
There you go. We don't need cookies.
I like it.
have anything else? Go ahead.
No, thank you.
Nothing?
You got more notes and more things to do than our other meetings.
I will say one thing, I
Just turn it over to
appreciate
you, Tim.
the sheriff. They back 100%. County commissioner golf. Without them behind me, the town hall maybe.
I have another question. You can probably answer it for me. We no longer have two librarians in the library. Is there an extra patrol or checking going on the ladies there?
We always have, so, an extra patrol because there's one less librarian.
Well, since there's just one librarian, there had always been two before.
I don't know if there's an extra patrol, like going in there and checking on it, but we always patrol the park, stuff like that, so we're never too far.
And maybe there was someone going by more often.
How late does the library stay open? 9 o'clock?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear it.
How long does the library stay open? I think it's only till 7.
7
7.
o'clock.
Oh, wow. You're
Does she
open
have
that
some
late?
type of, like, or did whoever the librarian is, do they have some type of, I mean, it sounds kind of crazy, but some type of like panic button or anything? I mean, you know, 'cause it's kind of a big building for them to be there by themselves without any type of emergency
Yeah, I don't know what they have in
access.
there or not, I'm sure she has her phone with her, so.
Or at least their phone,
Yeah, good
a county phone or something that she could always have in her possession to call
Yeah,
911.
they probably got something.
Great idea.
I live a block from there. So maybe I'll ask how to stop by. So is it a temporary thing or just they changed the staffing?
Well, apparently they didn't have enough
How funded?
librarians. Something going on with see, they changed them. The Lake Panasoffkee one day and then Bushwick the next day.
Oh, okay, I didn't know
I
that.
think the agenda has.
And they have the buses too, the buses go on.
It used to be when we worked at Panasoffkee, that's when we worked. And then the county commissioners.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure we were unaware that there was 2 down the corner. If it's something we like, we can always make sure we look and check on it.
Well, I called the new county commissioners and asked them if he was aware of that, and he said no. But I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, I was aware.
I think there's just a couple of libraries in ours now.
Okay.
Well, you turn your list over to Davenport, tell them to take care of it.
Davenport gives us lists of people, we can do this stuff now.
Take care also.
I'll just say, I'll get that, I'll just say that. I'll use it for you guys.
Yeah, thank you for your time.
Yeah, how many? Oh, okay. Can I get your stats?